Yeah, this is Point Black. Coming in hard and off the car. Coming with the blue. Straight to the barrio. And coming with that heat. With the motherfucking street. Coming with the backs. Let's go crack some backs. You know what I'm saying? Straight out the barrio. This is PBN and Point Black. National News. The late edition. You know how it is. You know what I'm saying? Now today we coming with some facts. You know, just give them a little flavor. See what's going on out here and everything, you know what I mean? We rocking the gun on them. Making sure they understand the flotation and the rotation of their nation. Instead of being Mr. Slick Guy every time we turn around. You know what I'm saying? It's highly important that we understand that people have a rights and we're not here by one man's device. You know what I'm saying? Or you wouldn't have a thing called your own life. Something that even Democrats never respected. You see. So we gonna rock on their head anytime we feel like. You see what I'm saying? Because you try to do the same to us. You know? We have to make it so. It's just so. You know? So we jumping back on their head again with this thing called the ID. You know what I'm saying? So when we look at it, I was explaining how we need checks and balances and why Kamala is not going to agree with that particular procedure. You know what I'm saying? This is exactly why they created, or not created, but wanted to stay in the groove in which they created. You know what I'm saying? So we've got to understand that. They're not going to subside or say we give in and this and that and the third. Any measure that can block their control over the voting process, they're going to do. You know what I'm saying? In order to stay in power. So they don't have to answer for what? Their crimes. You know what I'm saying? This is exactly why there should be a voter ID. You know what I'm saying? For areas that are rural. And especially for that reason. So every vote counts legally. You see what I'm saying? Too many loopholes is not good at all. We've got to do something right for once. In our time, this is but one of the greatest moves. You know what I'm saying? The Supreme Court, as we see, this is a time to shine with the Supreme Court and make history as an example of rightful use of power. All hail. Let's go now. You know what I'm saying? So we've got to see it that way. You know? Because we see the even Democrats, they are scared. They are scared. They will lose. They will lose. You know what I'm saying? Well, Democrats, welcome to the real world. As I would say, we must have order. Order. You have damaged our voting power in process as a whole. So let's be clear on that, because that's a fact and point blank. It is time you abide by the law. Point blank. Now we look at the LA County. You know what I'm saying? We're looking at LA County now. Jump in a little bit. Subject. We're looking at LA County. The fifth day of straight day, the fifth day of the straight days, you know what I'm saying, of 1,000 cases a day, saying the Delta variant, same in New York. Notice the same. First COVID, now Delta. Over from all over the news. You know what I'm saying? From every news, everywhere. We see the same strain, the same virus. Time to PPD up the tally. Because something is not right. Because some things are not right here at all. How does the same be everywhere and many still don't get it, but many do? Is the question. That's the question in which we face. You know what I'm saying? That's the question in which we face. Now we see Bill de Blasio, you know what I'm saying? Bill de Blasio, new showing the ID off. Now, it is very ironic to see the demon Democrats are fighting against. You know what I'm saying? He's showing the ID off, but we still look at the con game. Now, this will affect the voting outcome. As a fact, this will affect the voting outcome. You know what I'm saying? So we have to look at that. If the ID can be used to vote, so if we see that the ID can't be used, you know what I'm saying, to vote, so we see a connection as to why the Democrats are fighting so hard. You know what I'm saying? But if it can be used, then we see why they are fighting so hard against the voter restrictions. Every trick in the damn book. We have to look at it that way. As long as the Democrats, as long as the Democrats can keep war, they're going to do so. They will when it comes to Trumpy Bear. You know what I'm saying? The accelerated withdrawal also we see of the U.S. troops from Afghanistan. Everything good with Trump when Trump did. You know what I'm saying? Every good thing that Trump did, Biden is undoing. Why? Why would a president undo everything a former president have done? Only one reason. What was he doing? But what was done? You know, what was done was a successful on the Trumpy Bear overstanding. He had a success in negotiations of bringing those troops home long before Biden even was probably president. You know what I'm saying? In many ways. In many ways. They hurt, you know, the situation. You know, in many ways it hurt the situation that when he came in and he changed the dynamic. Now we see he's being forced. They're wicked demon Democrats for 47 years. They have enriched themselves and got kind of fat on the rat to maintain control. You know, Trump was cleaning it up. He was cleaning it up. So as to make America live up to its greatness. You know what I mean? That's what Trump was trying to do. Democrats will, to me, sell you out. No questions asked. as we see, but are using the government, you know what I'm saying, as a cover while they do tricks and treats. They give you tricks and treats, you know, they give it to you in every way. And that's a fact. For years. But on the problems, you know what I'm saying? On the problems, where is the goodies that we need to solve the problems? Now they care so much when they push drugs in black communities. Like with Reagan, he was a Democrat. Yes, right. Reagan was a Democrat. You know, actually, Reagan was a Hollywood Democrat. You know, a deep stater and a Luciferian, if you ask me. You know what I mean? He even held Franklin D. Roosevelt as a hero. He moved to right wing in 1950, in the 1950s, and became a Republican in 1962. So he crossed party lines. You know what I'm saying? To me, he was a Democrat in Republican regalia. You know what I'm saying? So we see the 1950s, a lot of sabotage going on, you know what I'm saying, under the Republicans' name. We see, you know, play good, stick you, play good and then stick you at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Even Nancy Pelosi. When we look at Nancy Pelosi, you know, buys, you know what I'm saying, stocks, and her husband bought stocks, you know, ahead of legislation. You know, now their worth is $1 million, so they say. That could be alleged and fake news. We don't know. But what the reporter was saying in the situation was she was there for 34 years. You know, who keeps electing this nut? I don't know. But we see it. Even saying a congresswoman salary over that time of 34 years, it's impossible to gain that much wealth through her salary alone. Same for Kamala. You know what I mean? But, you know, we allow them. We allow them to eat, to get, and, you know, smudge it in your face. You keep electing the same people, and they do the same thing. Once they get up and then they get wealthy and nice and fresh, they smudge it in your face through certain reports that you may hear and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Let's just be clear on that. You know what I mean? While they're in the walls listening. Get out the walls, monkey. You ain't hear about the monkey box? But anyway, you know, they smudge it in your face. All kinds of inside schemes and deals. Of inside schemes and deals. What happened to the general public pockets while y'all can scrounge up a mere 100 million, as we see, if it is true. So don't come with that garbage. You know what I'm saying? What happened to the general public is the question. When it comes to ours, we must see change in the government as well. We don't need a overseer while he gets his pockets filled and he living lavish and high off the hog. We don't get nothing but a bad time and a struggle to stay afloat in every way, shape, and possible. In all countries, we see this behavior for many, many years. You see what I'm saying? All kinds of people assassinated, all kinds of governments upturn, all kinds of evil crap going on while they enrich themselves. You know what I'm saying? We must look for change. We don't need an overseer who gets elected, get rich on the inside knowing. Meanwhile, engage in all kinds of wrongdoing you can think of. You know what I'm saying? Even backing the wrongdoing, but able to tell how much they care for you. This is the demon Democrats. But I say this. Now caring is also sharing, which is still faking the funk when they do it. The demon Democrats we talked about and we're talking about. Even when we look at their pandemic, we see a con game, a distraction, a censorship, and all kinds of garbage in the mix. In the mix. Because they like a mix. Like a witch, they like to mix religions and all kinds of stuff and mix it and come up with a Bible and stuff. They do stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? They love the mix. Just like Madame Blavatsky and Aleister Crowley, Antoine Levy, and L. Ron Hubbard. They love the mix. Same with the churches. Same with the holy churches in Rome and everywhere. They're mixing religions to come up with a religion. They're making it up as we see. You know what I'm saying? As we see. But there's much to see. Because all they come with that garbage that you would not believe. You know what I'm saying? When we look at the situation, when we look at Fauci, he keeps a full treated, still seems, he said, fully treated, still seems to get sick. After or past, he called it a breakthrough. He called it breakthrough cases. This is the new word I'm hearing. Yeah, okay, yeah, breakthrough, all right. Yeah, something that you did and it made a breakthrough on the person. Let's be plain about that, This do seem logical in many ways. They see, the sea, to always rise when, you know what I'm saying? They always rise when it drums, and still drumming. If the loss is still up, even after fully, then you must stop. But you must stop the procedure. You know what I'm saying? Must stop the procedure. But is the scale you see not bringing answers on that scale from 1 to 10? You must see a scale of overstanding in it. You see what I'm saying? In your measurement of procedure. So not bringing on the scale, you see that it does not bring an answer, but seems to be prolonging into something else because it by them, that's something and have no sides. To them that do not, a good measure. Why? Because there is no end, only continuation of the same thing. And there is no other way around that. Now I see on News 12, the Black Congressional Caucus Party is out there running the old school fool, you know, marching, showing themselves, being arrested, jumping subject. Okay, we see Como is up for questioning. It's time to see how he will, it's time to see how he will defend himself on this matter. Justice must be the focus, as well as the nursing home. You know what I'm saying? In which he lied about. You know what I'm saying? We must watch even the products and foods we eat jumping now. We must watch the food that we buy and eat. You know what I'm saying? We must do that now. You know what I'm saying? Because money comes from somewhere else. Like even Bill Gates buying up all the farmland. Mega farmland. Farmland for real. Now we see. Joey Nugget. You know what I'm saying? Joey Nugget. I call him. I think his name is Machin, a Democrat, demon Democrat, rejecting the filibuster and voting right bill after meeting with his body, you know what I'm saying, to protest in Washington. Mr. Nutcase, I call him, to protect voting restriction, the voting rights or whatever he's trying to do, and rally against the restrictions to protect against that. You know what I'm saying? Bill, so is the congressional black dummies. As well. Every demon Democrat came out of the woodwork. You know what I'm saying? The bill in their state is what they're fighting because they have the same bill coming up in their state where they're going to have to face it. That they're going to have to put these, restrictives in there. You know what I'm saying? In their state. That would bring in voter restrictions in their state. Now we ask, why are they fighting so hard and willing to be arrested? Even showing off in this matter, and they're showboating on News 12 and probably every other news channel as well. You know what I'm saying? On News 12. Killing a proposal that has gained steam amongst even some, or not all, is more, more like it, if you ask me. Not some, all. The even Democrats, so-called leaders. No love lost clowns is what I call it. But notice how McKinnon, or whatever his name is, or notice how, or whatever, McKinnon, or whatever his name is, or whatever his name is, saying, a 60 vote is needed to close down, but telling the reporters, man, forget the filibuster. Yeah, but instead of GOP minority, yeah, right, it should be majority, fool. They ain't gone for that bullshit. The majority rule, you know what I'm saying? The GOP. But they used the filibuster, last month, to block the Democrats' sweeping election bill, which would have backed many states, and level restrictions, expanding mail-in voting, and institution or automatic voting registrations. The demon Democrats stopping nothing. You know what I'm saying? Now on top of other provisions to increase ballot access. So they're planning to cheat, no matter what nobody say. And that's the point fact. So this is Point Black saying, stay tuned. I'm coming in with part 3 on their head in a minute because, we got them going like a cloud. You know what I'm saying? So we'll be right back after these important messages.